It begins like any other night. The hum of air conditioners, the glow of bedroom lamps, phones charging, children asleep. Across the country, millions scroll through headlines, half reading, half dreaming. At 10:43 p.m. Eastern Time, a satellite detects something unusual. A launch, not a test, not a drill, a trajectory that doesn't curve back. Within minutes, encrypted channels light up. Military analysts confirm what no one wants to believe. World War III has begun. The first alerts are silent, not sirens, but signals. A classified DEFCON elevation. Command centers activate protocols written decades ago. In Washington, lights flicker in underground bunkers. In Moscow, Beijing, Berlin, similar shadows move. But for ordinary Americans, the night remains quiet, for now. At 11:17 p.m., the first public ripple, a flash across social media, unconfirmed reports of missile activity, screenshots of radar, speculation, confusion. Then, silence. News anchors pause mid-sentence. Government feeds stall. The language shifts from incident to event, then to strike. By 11:30 p.m., the East Coast is still lit. Streetlights hum. Bars stay open, streaming services buffer. But beneath the surface, something fractures. The illusion of distance, of safety, of normal. At midnight, the first emergency alert hits phones, a sharp tone, a blunt message. National defense condition raised, shelter in place, await further instruction. Most Americans have never seen a DEFCON alert. Some think it's a glitch, others assume it's local. But the sound, that piercing, unmistakable broadcast tone, is enough to freeze conversations mid-sentence, to silence laughter, to turn eyes toward the sky. In major cities, law enforcement begins activating Cold War-era protocols. Transit halts, curfews are announced, flights are grounded. Airspace over Washington and New York clears. Planes bound for Europe are ordered to return. But still, no explosions, no bombs, just information. Fragmented, conflicting, terrifying. By 12:15 a.m., television networks switch to emergency coverage. Anchors read statements that sound like history repeating. Government officials urge calm, but their eyes betray something else, the fear that this is not a drill. Across the country, Americans begin to feel it. Not impact, not heat, but the weight of something irreversible. The quiet dread that spreads faster than fire. In bedrooms, living rooms, dorms, screens glow with uncertainty. The war has begun, but the battlefield is still invisible. At 12:45 a.m., supermarkets begin to fill, not with shoppers, with panic. The aisles empty faster than any storm warning ever triggered. Water, batteries, canned food, gone in minutes. At gas stations, lines stretch into intersections, engines idle, arguments spark. Fear flickers in the eyes of people who, hours ago, were just trying to get home. The government strategy is containment. Inform, but don't incite. Maintain order while military assets reposition. But silence is a poor substitute for control. And absence, the absence of visible war, begins to erode trust. By 1:30 a.m., false reports flood social media. missile impacts in Los Angeles, explosions in Houston. Videos, some real, most fake, show streaks of light in the sky, intercepted by something unseen. For millions glued to their phones, the line between rumor and reality dissolves. In Washington, barricades rise around the White House. Helicopters circle. Convoys move south. In New York, Wall Street halts. Not a crash, just a stop. Circuit breakers trip. Trading freezes. Across the Midwest, power grids flicker. Not from attack, from demand, as people charge phones, freezers, radios, desperate to stay connected. By 2 a.m., the fear of disconnection becomes as real as the fear of attack. Schools announce closures. Parents flood highways to retrieve children. Traffic clogs interstates, not from evacuation orders, from instinct. In these hours, America experiences the paradox of modern war. The battlefield has not arrived, but its shadow covers every screen, every voice, every choice. At 2:17 a.m., the blackout begins. Not from fire, from silence, the kind that hums when systems fail. Officials had warned of cyber disruptions. Few understood what that meant, until now. ATMs freeze mid-transaction. Debit cards fail. The internet stutters, then dies. Banking, news, social media, gone. Not everywhere, but enough. A patchwork collapse, spreading fast. Each outage triggers panic. Stores can't process payments. Cell towers drop. Communities go dark. Emergency radio becomes the last thread. A calm voice through static. This is a national broadcast. Please remain calm. The words repeat every 5 minutes. A mantra, a lifeline, a whisper against the rising tide of fear. By 2:45 a.m., hospitals activate emergency protocols. Generators hum to life. Ambulances idle, conserving fuel. Patients gather in lobbies, waiting for news that no longer arrives. Screens freeze. Routers blink. Parents rummage through drawers for flashlights, radios, battery packs. The silence is no longer peaceful. It's electric, heavy, unnatural. Neighbors begin speaking again, across fences, across driveways, the way people used to. The blackout doesn't destroy, it disconnects. And in that disconnection, something primal stirs. Without information, imagination takes over. And imagination, in the dark, is rarely kind. By 3 a.m., the United States feels alone, not as a nation, but as millions of individuals, cut off from the systems they trusted. The internet is gone, the grid is unstable, the news is silent, and the war is still invisible. At 3:30 a.m., the first sounds of panic, gunshots in the distance. Not war, fear. Stores broken into, gas siphoned, a siren that doesn't stop. In cities, curfews are enforced. Police cruisers roll through empty downtown streets. Loudspeakers echo, return home, stay indoors, remain calm. The words sound hollow, even to those who speak them. In rural towns, families cluster around battery radios. The voices that come through are fractured, distant, pre-recorded updates from hours ago. Somewhere, a broadcast repeats instructions to boil water. No one knows why, but they do it anyway. By 4 a.m., fear has changed shape. It's no longer fear of impact or invasion. It's fear of the unknown, the invisible front line where nobody knows what's already been lost. Rumors spread of naval clashes offshore, explosions in the Atlantic, unconfirmed, unverifiable. The skies are quiet, except for the occasional streak of light, aircraft, satellites, or something else. On highways, traffic has stopped. Those who fled early now sleep in their cars, engines off, fuel conserved. The glow of dashboard lights fades, and the night deepens. In living rooms, Americans rediscover rituals, handwritten notes, whispered prayers, the sound of silence between each heartbeat. Some neighbors share generators, others bar their doors. Trust fractures, but resilience remains. Across small towns, churches open their doors, volunteers distribute food. Amateur radio operators, once dismissed as hobbyists, become vital links across states. In the quiet, a different kind of unity emerges. Improvised, fragile, human. By 5 a.m., the blackout has spread coast to coast. The United States, for the first time in modern history, sleeps disconnected from itself. The war has not yet reached every home, but its shadow lives in every mind. By 6 a.m., the sun begins to rise, but no one notices. The glow of cities is gone. Power outages, once regional, now blanket the East Coast. What light remains flickers from candles, lanterns, and emergency beacons. The silence is no longer eerie, it's absolute. Major cities enforce curfews. Police cruisers roll through empty downtown streets. Loudspeakers echo through skyscraper canyons. Return home, stay indoors, remain calm. The words bounce off glass and concrete, but they no longer carry meaning. In the countryside, families huddle around battery radios. The voices that come through are fractured, distant, pre-recorded. Somewhere, a broadcast repeats instructions to boil water. No one knows why, but they listen. Fear has changed again. It's no longer fear of missiles or invasion. It's fear of the unknown, the invisible front line, where nobody knows what's already been lost. By 7 a.m., the blackout has spread coast to coast. The United States, for the first time in modern history, wakes disconnected from itself. The war has not yet reached every home, but its shadow lives in every mind. The morning after is not a return to normal. It's a reckoning. Streets once filled with commuters are lined with stalled cars. Gas stations stand empty. Signs dark. Prices frozen in place. For the first time in decades, silence defines the landscape. No aircraft cross the skies. No music hums from storefronts. Only the rhythmic echo of footsteps and the distant crackle of shortwave radios. Overnight, the government issued its first formal address, a voice most Americans didn't recognize, speaking through static. The message was short, mechanical. The nation remains intact. Federal continuity is in effect. Shelter in place. Assistance will arrive, but no one knows when or where. In homes and shelters, People begin counting what they have left. Food, water, fuel, grocery chains, cut off from logistics, remain shuttered. Credit cards are useless. What once seemed endless, supply, power, connection, has become finite, measured in hours and calories. And yet, beneath the fear, a strange calm begins to take hold. Neighbors who barely spoke before now share meals by candlelight. Parents comfort children with stories of resilience. Communities that once argued over politics and screens rediscover what it means to simply belong. History rarely announces its turning points. They arrive quietly, hidden in confusion, in choices made by ordinary people trying to hold on to the familiar. This morning is one of those turning points. By 8 a.m., makeshift aid centers begin forming. Schools, churches, parking lots. Amateur operators report intermittent transmissions from overseas, fragments, hints. The conflict is still expanding. The war has entered its second day, but for most Americans, the front line remains invisible, measured not in miles, but in uncertainty. In the span of a single night, a nation built on abundance has learned how fragile that abundance truly is. The systems that once defined civilization, the grid, the market, the screen, have vanished, leaving behind only the oldest human currency: trust, courage, and the will to endure. And so begins the first morning of World War III, not with fire, but with silence, not with the fall of cities, but with the awakening of a people forced to remember what survival truly means.